Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Alien, and finally, I have been able to do for a little while a earlier live stream, and I'll talk with you all about some of the topics that I've been reviewing. Some of you may be watching this as a rerun or watching it live anywhere around the country or the world, and I appreciate that. And here we go. We're going to have a slightly different setting than usual. Because right now, as you can see, it is daytime. And you can see me a little bit, a little bit better because it's daylight. Yeah. So, a shout out to all of you, and I will be. I'll start the game up, and I will do some other things too, and talk about the astronauts, and I'll talk about Tellus and the island I was talking about before, and the other things that I was talking about on the stream on Friday. Shout out to all of you that are coming through, watching, listening. Appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to see about seeing how the game goes, and if that doesn't go the way I think it will go, I will just go right into topics directly. But I'll talk about the different things while I play the game. All right. So let's see. All right. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. So I hope all of you have been having a great weekend. And my weekend has been going well. I saw recently, about yesterday, I was watching some of the old TV shows, and they were talking about King Arthur. It was these people that were going to a time machine to King Arthur's time, and that was really cool to see. Also, I was on some different shows over the weekend. That was pretty good. My Sunday was very well. Some of you may want to know. Alright, so now we'll go to the game and talk with the astronauts for a little bit and the different things that I talk about. Then I'll get into the articles. Alright, so here's my pirate, as I usually play in the late night streams. Okay. Here we go. Alright. Okay, so basically I'll talk about the weekend. So, had a good time seeing the cats and stuff, and I was on a show on Saturday that went well, and talking about different political things and stuff like that with the country, and got to see my friends. That was good. Also, Friday night, I was at another stream, and I saw some different people that I usually would see at the other stream briefly than I did my Friday stream. And I remember on Thursday I covered a story about the alien. There was some stuff with the aliens going on. So they found, one of the Pentagon whistleblowers was talking about how they're holding the bodies of extraterrestrials, and not NASA, but the Pentagon has denied this, as usual. And I'm sure they have a lot of, rather than skeletons, not just skeletons, but it's, in my opinion, it's alien skeletons. Yeah. And also, I think that is very interesting that they do that. And hopefully more information comes out and more proof and evidence for that as well. I always think it's good to have whistleblowers and people talking about stuff they believe in and exposing the corruption that they want to expose. And also, I want to check something real quick. Oh, wait, okay. It's all good. Yeah, so basically, I think it's good that people are doing that. They're going and exposing the different stuff that's going on and in the country and the government. And also, it'll be interesting to see, just in general, about, speaking of politics, how the election will turn out, because there's a lot of split opinions on both sides about it. And I think it's important for everybody to come together. there's a lot of division. Okay. Yeah. So, cause, so that is what I was doing. Also, recently, just the recent video I published. It was a video about the the astronauts. So I've been keeping up with that case, and so the recent update is that on Friday, not on Friday, but on February rather, they're going to bring them back from space because they're stuck up there because it was not working right, and they got to bring them back home, but they can't bring them back on the vehicle because if you bring them back on the vehicle, the problem is people are going to, people could be deleted or seriously hurt because they don't really know why the different thrusters and stuff are working. But if they had a model or some way to predict what would happen, maybe they would have a better way of figuring out what's going on. But basically, and I think it's better to be safe than sorry, and they really don't know what's going to happen, and it's supposed to be working correctly. It's like, remember with math, it's supposed to be the exact number. It can't be close. One time I was in school when I was in third, fourth grade, and I said my number was close, and the teacher told me it can't be close. It has to be exact. And you can apply this to many things. It has to be exact. They can't just be almost there. They have to get it just right. So they're going to be coming back in February, and the ISS, the what I meant to say was the Starliner is going to come back unmanned. But everything else is just going to be up in the air. But the people, though, they will come back, but only during the time in February. And they do have enough food, and also they have little plants and things like, on this channel I like to talk about the plants I like to grow. Over there they have plants that they like to grow on their spaceship, just like me. And they seem to be in good spirits, but it has to be really scary to not be able to see your family or friends or anything for all that time, and they have a crew of people up there, but if I reckon correctly. But basically, when you're up there in space, it's, they're away from their home on Earth. And maybe some of us may like to take a vacation, but they certainly would like to be back on Earth. So it's going to be thankful for the blessings we do possess, even when times are rough. More videos and stuff are coming out, and I'm really glad I was able to see this, able to do this. I wanted to do it a little bit earlier, but this was the time to do it. Alright, sunk both ships. Okay. And also, I was talking last time about Tellus, which on Monday, that will be the trial about that. So the trial is going on, and if I reckon correctly, on Monday they're going to be doing the closing. And then the jury will go and see if he's guilty or innocent. But I think he's guilty of sin, and he really made his case even worse by what he did, by going and saying, going on the stand and opening Pandora's box to all the different possibilities of who was doing the deletion. So basically, if you all don't know, Tellus is being accused of deleting this journalist that was talking bad about him named Gurman. And he was a politician that lost, and he believes that Gurman was responsible because he wrote stuff about him. It's like, there's nothing to hide. I mean, you can't, people should vote for him, but if he was supposed to be good, but he probably was very shady, so, in my opinion. And then that's what they did. They went and had this going, and he was saying his side of the story, and he worked in tech, and he worked in all these different things, and he's also an attorney himself. But what happened was, you see, he was saying he wasn't there, and he was arrested when he was seeing his daughter, trying to see his daughter. I mean, you bring his daughter to school then they went and arrested him. So that is basically what happened with that. And then the prosecutor did his cross examination on him, and he was telling him he has the same vehicle with the same type of tires and tire spikes on the rims. And it's a person wearing a straw hat with a giant red outfit, and the straw hat was found in his house, so this assassin that he claims that did it, and he didn't do it, would have had to have placed all this DNA in his fingers in his house, and it just would be really far-fetched, and the sun visors are the same. It's like this, it really didn't go well, because as they say, you have a fool for a client if you defend yourself. So he was supposed to be defended by an attorney, but he just wanted to stand to say aside the story. Then he wound up really defending himself in general, very overly narcissistic, and he just dug his hole deeper. So we'll see how that trial goes. And also, there was an island I was talking about in Hawaii that one of my friends on one of the other streams saw, and they have wild chickens there, and that is very cool that they have that there. Because one of my friends saw it one time. Because you don't think of, like, oh, and they sunk me. See, they have this certain shrapnel that they launch, and it's really heavy artillery, and it sinks any ship. So I was getting a little bit too close to it in range for it to do that, but we'll go back and get him. So basically, with the island, I think it was very nice how they had the chickens. The reason how the chickens got there was this hurricane that happened that went to the island, and it caused all that to happen because there had chicken coops and stuff there, and they got undone, and basically it caused all the chickens to roam all over that island. And they have other interesting wildlife there. It's pretty cool. And after this game, I'll go through the little articles and things that I like to talk about, and then I'll end it. Now I'm going to go back to the area of the ship to go and get this thing done. Yeah, I don't think over here they have the regular area to fix the ship. You have to go to a certain person that's around here somewhere. Yeah, they really put me on the other edge of the island. Let's see. Doing something real quick. There. Yeah, so I know my way around this place. I have to go this other area in the front and go get the ship repaired, because this area is a little bit different than the other parts. Because usually they have this big thing where you could go and get it repaired, but this is not a pirate island. So, but see, when they had me over here, they put me on way on the other side of the island, so I have to get over to that spot. Okay, let's go this way. Yeah, so I like studying about the different islands and stuff, and one time we talked about the Vietnam island, where they have this cave with pretty much its own ecosystem. Oh yeah, that's right, I have to go through this door right here and that way. Okay, now we repair the ship. Okay. Alright, so let's sink a couple more ships, then I'll get into the articles about the different things I'm talking about. And last time we were talking about sports and stuff. Also, we were talking about ice hockey. And with ice hockey, some of the friends in the chat were talking about the different teams that they like. Down here where I am, they don't really have ice hockey too much, but recently they brought it back, like last year. And I think that that'll be really cool, to see that as they continue to do that. And also, I think it's a really cool sport. And one of my friends, he likes the Nashville Predators. And you could either comment below during this rerun, or if y'all were in the chat, what kind of sports y'all like if you're interested. Also, any movies and TV shows would be interesting to know about too, because I also talk about that as well. And I'll be doing this, these Sunday streams more frequently like this. This is just the first time I've, done this since last year, around April. Or maybe a year before that, something like that. Yeah, in my opinion, Tellus is very, very guilty, and also, and as I said, I'm bouncing around different topics. I kind of bounce around and I get into it. So, basically, what happened was, I think Tellus is guilty, and also the YSL, they're still debating about evidence and things like that. Alright, good, I got that ship. Alright. I get a couple more of them. Yeah, so hey Alan, good to see you. Well, welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you're able to get a chance to see this. Yeah, so I was talking about a couple of different things, and I was talking about how Tellus, I think, is extremely guilty, and also I think that the jury will have no problem by finding him completely guilty. It'll be quickly. It'll go quickly. And I think that he dug his own grave very deep for that. And also YSL, they're still deliberating evidence and stuff. And as far as I know, I think that they are going to, Woody is still going to be on the stand for the YSL trial. Oh yeah, I'm glad that you did. See this, yeah, because I go live different times, so different groups of people can see it, have a chance to see it. And this is a little bit of a surprise, this live. It's a little bit of a surprise. And I'll be doing them on Sundays more frequently, of course. I haven't done one on Sunday in a long time. Alright. And also about the show I was watching with Merlin, Alan, I hope that you've been having a good weekend. And everything's going to go with you today. I think I'm back now. So, yeah, so basically, I was watching I hope you've been having a good weekend. So basically, I was watching that show. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was like about time travel and stuff like that. And so basically, with the time travel, they went back to King Arthur's time, and they were seeing Merlin and like King Arthur, and then because they're trying to save King Arthur so the history can play out the way it was supposed to play out, because these Vikings were taking over Britain and they were trying to stop them. And some of the main characters that came from the 20th century over there were getting captured. And they found King Arthur's future wife, and then Merlin did a couple of tricks to help them out, and they were able to get rid of the enemy. And also, because at some point the Vikings captured them, and Merlin was able to do a few magic tricks, not all of them, and he was saying something interesting that, that victory King Arthur had led to the Round Table, that led him to have his wife and rule the kingdom. And Merlin went to the 20th century because these people that were running the time machine, he went to go stop them because they were trying to interfere with everything, but he would just have it under control, so if they touched the controls, they would get zapped. So yeah, that was really cool to see. I liked the medieval stuff. And I hope that, Alan, you've been having a good weekend. If it may have cut out before. You've been having a good day and a good weekend. Alright, so also all of you watching, I appreciate it. And also, and hopefully the astronauts can come back home peacefully and safely. They'll be coming when I turn, during my birthday month of February. And the astronauts are going to be, they have enough food and stuff for now. And also what the astronauts have is, they have their own plants. I like how the Boeing is the Starliner. People that built the Starliner are acknowledging that they did wrong with having it not done correctly, because when you don't put it together correctly, it has problems. And hopefully they could get that fixed, and it's good that SpaceX is going to help bring them back down. Alright, so yeah, that's me, me in the game, and also, so I got some pirate ships, and I'll talk a little bit more about Tellus. So what I do next is, I go through articles and pictures and things about what I was talking about while I played the game, and then that will be it. Okay. So, yeah, basically this is Governor's Mansion right here. That's Elizabeth Swan right there. Alright, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'll get into the other part where I talk about the articles and things. Buckle up. Well, that's great, Alan. That's great. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the other window right here. Alright, so now what I'm going to be doing now, looking at some of the articles. Now I will be switching over, rather. Okay. Now we're going to go to Window, and we're going to go to Chrome. Where are you? Okay, so shout out to the space. This is called the spaceship cats. You haven't watched any of the Tellus trial. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I will update you about it. Yeah, so this is, I call the Spaceship Cats in the late night stream. I say shout out to the Spaceship Cats. And it's this picture I have of these cats in the spaceship. Pretty cool. Alright, so we'll look at some stuff about Tellus. Okay. I'm going to make this window a little bit different so I can have everything in one place. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Let's go. So basically, what would tell us this an overview about it. So Tellus was this politician, and he's very disturbing looking. His face looks like rubber, and he looks like something from a horror movie from the classic films. He looks like Nosferatu, which is a vampire from a classic German movie, Count Orlok. And so basically, with Tellus, he was a politician, and there is this person named Gurman, who is a journalist, and someone in the chat knew about him and like knew his writings and stuff that was in the area, and that Gurman was a very great person, and he was very good at his journalism. So he was writing things about Tellus to expose him, and what happened next was he was deleted, which deleted means he was murdered, which is, sometimes some YouTubers suggest to not say deleted, they are killed, murdered, but so I use them interchangeably. So Gurman was murdered by this individual, Tellus, allegedly. And as the trial goes on, it seems more and more likely that it was him, and he has been very cringe. And he was being defended, but then he decided to defend himself. And he claims that an assassin deleted Gurman. Not him. But when Tellus was talking, it just seemed more and more that it was him that did it, because it was his car, it was his sun visors the same way. Everything was the same about him, and there you go. You have guilty of sin, in my opinion. And Alan says something here, and I'm putting a dot in the chat so I can read the whole thing, because YouTube has a thing where I can't see everything because of the heart thing right there. So Alan says, "Oh, this guy. I did watch part of the first day of the trial, but that's it." Okay. So basically what happened was he was being defended, and then he decided to take the stand and tell everybody what happened with his own story. So when he did this, what happened was he, was basically in effect defending himself when you're not supposed to do that. It's very similar to Darrell Brooks, if you recall that trial. And also with Tellus, he was talking about his life, what he did in the beginning, and he was dropping his kid off at school, and then he was arrested, and he didn't do this. And then the prosecutor was saying they showed pictures of the vehicle the alleged assassin was driving, and it was his exact vehicle. It looked just like his vehicle. The sun visors were the same way, and they had spokes were the exact same way. It just there's no way about this that it was either that was a very skilled assassin, but of course it was just Tellus just doing it himself, because there's no way that it just points to him bluntly, because you have his same car, his same vehicle, rather, his SUV. The sun visors are the same way. The hat was in his house. The DNA was in his fingers. And because he was trying to say he was not trained in martial arts, so he couldn't have stabbed him in the neck and the chest, but it definitely evidence points to, in my opinion, that it was him. And he did not like Gurman because he feels he lost the election because of what Gurman was saying about him. And yet, just censorship. And he was on the stand, and the prosecutor was grilling him. And I reckon correctly, deliberations will be done on the day tomorrow, on Monday. And also read some articles about this, and as I said, sometimes we'll see how it goes with this, okay? I'll read what I read on Friday to you. Surprise text focus: murder trial of ex-politician accused of deleting Las Vegas reporter. Okay. A surprise text and a prosecutor's questioning Thursday of a former Las Vegas area politician standing trial in the deletion of a veteran investigative reporter after a long day of sometimes rambling testimony during which the defendant declared that he never deleted anybody. You see, this guy, he rants. He rants about his situation when he was testifying, and that is basically what it was. It was really wasn't really a defense. It was basically a rant. In a hushed courtroom before a rapid jury with a murder conviction on the line, prosecutor Christopher Hamner asked defendant Robert Tellis to read a message showing that Tellis' wife wondered where he was about the time the reporter Jeff German was ambushed and deleted outside of his home nearly 2 years ago. It says, "Where are you?" Tellis responded. Tellis testified earlier that he ignored several text, email, and voice messages while he was at home, went for a walk, then to a gym the day German was deleted. Prosecutors have suggested he left the phone at home as he executed a maliciously planned fatal attack on the journalist. Hey, Danny. Good to see you, bro. I'm doing good. I've been having a good weekend. I was seeing a time machine, like some sci-fi shows over the weekend, and I saw a sci-fi show about these time travelers, and they went to King Arthur's time, where Merlin was. So it was a really cool weekend, and also it was nice seeing you the other day, and the other chat. And I hope, Danny, that you've been having a good Sunday, a good weekend, whatever day it is where you are. I think you're ahead of us. And shout out to you too, Danny. Hamner zeroed in on cell phone records presented Wednesday by a defense witness that included no listening of the text from Tellis' wife. Tellis concluded Thursday that as owner of the phone, he could have deleted messages he did not admit that he did. Hello, DJ. Good to see you, bro. I know, I'm going past my bedtime by being up this early. Being up in the daytime, but I got some immunity pills because I'm a vampire. Usually I'm up at night, so I took some of the vampire pills so I could not get burnt by the sun. And Alan said, "I gotta run. Glad I caught alive. Wish I could stay longer. Have a great evening." Thank you, Alan. You too. See you later. Danny says, "It's been a while, bro. I've missed some of ABL streams because I've been sleeping early than usual." Oh, okay. Yeah, I like to... Hello, Matt. Isn't that something? The vampire is doing a daytime stream. I'm confused. Are you overseas where it's 11 p.m. somewhere? No. The vampire made an exception. I'm the vampire made an exception. And I'm up doing a Sunday stream that I haven't done in over a year. I haven't done streams like this in over a year. Hamner noted that the time 10:30 a.m. on September 2, 2022 was a time security video presented earlier to the jury showed a maroon SUV that Tellis has agreed looked just like his in German's neighborhood. It was driven by a person wearing an orange outfit and a big straw hat. Tellis himself referred to several times Thursday to the person as German's deleter. Daywalker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Danny. And Matt and everybody else here. And those that are watching. And rerun people. Where Tellis was when German was fatally attacked has been key questions since the trial started, including during 2.5 hours usually stream of conscious testimony from Tellis. Tellis, former Democratic administrator of a Clerk County office, handles unclaimed estates, has spent almost 2 years in jail since his arrest and Gurman's deletion. He denies killing Gurman and faces the possibility of life in prison if he's convicted. He will return to the witness stand Friday for prosecution rebuttal, questioning police. Thank you, Danny. I'm glad that you like my calls. Thank you so much. Also, you do great calls too. Detectives, he cited in his testimony a second round of self-guided testimony and possibly another round of follow-up questioning by prosecutors. His attorney, Robert Draskovic, said Thursday there were no additional witnesses planned for the defense. Both sides said they expect closing arguments will come Monday, 2 weeks after the jury selection began. Draskovic signaled a behind-the-scenes rift this with his client on Tuesday when he got permission from the judge to let Tellis testify by way of narration that he removed Draskovic from the usual question and answer format. Tellis told the jury that he had been framed for blame in Gurman's death by a political social guard real estate network resisting his effort to fight corruption in his office. Quote, how Gurman was murdered speaks to, I think, something or someone who knows what they're doing, he testified. You know the idea that Mr. Gurman's throat was slashed and his heart was stabbed. Yeah, I know, right? I know, right, Matt? Exactly. Quote, I am not the kind of person who would stab someone, Tellis said. He ended his soliloquy on Thursday. I didn't kill Mr. Gurman, and that's my testimony. Tellis is accused of plotting to kill Gurman, 69, a respected journalist who spent 44 years covering crime, courts, and corruption in Sin City after Gurman authored several articles for the Las Vegas Review-Journal about to a country office in turmoil under Tellis' leadership. Those stories also included allegations that Tellis had a romantic relationship with a female employee. Tellis admitted for the first time Thursday those reports were true. Gurman was working on another report about the relationship when he was deleted. Tellis, 47, is an attorney who practiced civil law before he was elected in 2018. His law license was suspended following his arrest several days after Gurman was deleted. He lost his 2022 Democratic primary bid for a second election term. Hamner and prosecutor Pamela Reckley rested prosecution case Monday after 4 days, 28 witnesses, and hundreds of pages of photos, police reports, and evidence. Matt, it happening in Germany, I did not see that coming. Exactly. Funny. Under questioning by Hamner on Thursday, Tellis said he could not explain how and why his DNA was found beneath Gurman's fingernails. Autopsy photos show knife or slash marks on Gurman's arm that police said stemmed from Gurman's fight for his life. Yeah, Matt said he took the Facebook poke seriously. Exactly. Tellis said he didn't know how people he alleged conspired to frame him for murder were able to put key pieces of evidence in his home, including cut up pieces of a broad straw hat and a gray athletic shoe. Similar items were worn by the person in orange captured on neighborhood security video near Gurman's home before the reporter was ambushed and left for dead. Hamner acknowledged that two key pieces of evidence were never found: the orange work shirt and the knife used in the attack on Gurman. He wondered why people out to frame Tellis would have left them out of the evidence inventory. Quote, why wouldn't they have put the murder weapon in your house? Hamner asks, does that make any sense? And Gurman says, Tellis says, I don't know. Tellis responded. Okay, so that is basically what's going on with Tellis. Scared. All right. Yes. So that was a wrong thing actually. So we're just gonna go here and just do this again. So look how smug he looks in that picture, with his bug shot and everything. Yeah, he's all. Yeah, he looks like cringe. This is not the person I'm talking about. You see, that's an athlete. Alright, so this is the Tellis I'm talking about. And, yeah, so basically, like, this is, one of the images. So he was showing him the vehicle. So, that's the vehicle. It's the same vehicle that Tellis himself has. And so what happened was he got on the stand and he was, for y'all that weren't here, he was on the stand defending himself and saying his testimony about what happened and his side of the story. And then what happened was he just kind of he dug his hole deeper, because basically the prosecutor was pointing out all these different things. The straw hat's in his house. It was the same vehicle he has that was used, with the same type of sun visors. His DNA was in his hands, his fingers. It was also in his house. He has a cut-up shoe. Matt would probably think it would make up something with that. So what this guy did, Matt, is that he took his shoe and he cut it up with scissors and put it under a sofa for some reason to try to hide evidence. So yeah, in my opinion, very guilty of sin, and he got rid of Gurman because he was exposing him, and he feels that he lost the election because of what Gurman wrote about him. So yeah, and also he's a Democratic politician, by the way. Yeah. So we will, and Monday. Okay, so what happened was, I'll explain. So this man, Tellis, it was a Democratic politician running, and there was a journalist named Gurman who wrote an article about him that, basically saying the guy was shady and stuff like that. And he caused him. Tellis believes that Gurman caused him to lose the election because of the article he wrote about him. So Tellis is being accused of killing Gurman because Gurman is dead now. And there's this guy with a straw hat, wearing all orange, standing out like a cork in daylight, or an alien streaming in daylight. You could say that too. And so he was standing out like a sore thumb, and he went and deleted Gurman, the journalist. and he believes that an assassin deleted Gurman. But the guy that deleted Gurman, whoever he was, has the same exact car, SUV, as Tellus, the same type of tires with the spokes, the same type of the way the sun visors were, and his DNA was found in his fingers, according to DNA analysts, and the straw hat was in his house. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. So, Danny, basically what happened was Tellus took the stand and was explaining his side of the story because he wanted to defend himself, but he had an attorney. So after he eventually defended himself, got on the stand, and was being crossed by the prosecutor after he told his side of the story, and he dug his grave deeper and deeper. So he really made his situation even worse. And has been in jail for 2 years, because that's when it happened. And he's been absolutely cringe, and Chad has been roasting Tellus, which is this bald guy this bald individual right here. Nothing against bald people, I'm just describing what the guy looks like. Because Gurman is the one that has hair, and Tellus is the one that doesn't have hair. Like, this is Tellus right here. Yeah. Amanda, I hope that y'all are having a good weekend, Amanda, over there at your place. Everybody's doing good. And this other funny thing happened, and he was saying that he likes to wear, nothing about people's height or anything, but the height thing has nothing really to do with anything, but basically he was saying that he has lifts in his shoes because he likes to look taller, he was saying on the stand. And he was saying that he's usually 6'5", but everybody was joked out because that doesn't make any sense. But he really said height doesn't matter. There's nothing to do with height. He's 5'6", but he said he's 6'5", and he's wearing boosters because he's 6'5". Doesn't make any sense. So he didn't correct himself until later. Oh, Amanda, you remember when it happened? Oh yeah, and yeah. Now the trial is going on, and basically, I'll read some more context about it. This is from 2022, this article. We'll see how this article goes. These are some of the stories Geoff Gurman wrote about Tellus. All right. Bear with me a moment. Okay, come on. Okay. It's all good. Before he was found dead outside his Las Vegas home last week, veteran investigative journalist Geoff Gurman had written a series of stories about former Clark County, page bouncing up, I'll get the public administrator Robert Tellus, including a piece he was writing about Tellus at the time of his death. Gurman reporting undercovered claims of bullying within LOL, Danny. Including a piece that he was writing about Tellus after the time of his death. Gurman's reporting uncovered claims of bullying within Tellus's office, as well as alleged inappropriate relationships. Though he has not been publicly linked to police Gurman's death. This is an older article from 2022, by the way. So this is just giving you a little recap about it. Thank you, Amanda. We're doing great over here as well. Thank you. Though he has not been publicly linked to the police to Gurman's death, Tellus has been held on suspicion of murder, but now it's very clear now that he's the one that did it. So this article, to update this article, he's basically the guy that did it. Tellus. Las Vegas Metro Police Sheriff Joe Lombardo told the Review-Journal Wednesday CNN had reached out to Las Vegas Metro Police Department and Tellus office and is working to determine his legal representation. Below are some of the stories Gurman wrote about Tellus for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. All right. page is on my end. It's all good. It's all good. Sometimes Google Chrome likes to act silly. All right. County office. County office in turmoil with secret video and claims of bullying hostility May 16, 2022. The Clark County Public Administrator's Office has been mired in turmoil after international dissension over the past 2 years with allegations of emotional stress, bullying, and favoritism leading to secret videotaping of the boss and co-worker. Outside the office, a half a dozen current and former employees interviewed by the Review Journal alleging that hostile work environment was fueled by election administrator of the office Robert Tellis carrying on an inappropriate relationship with a staffer that has harmed the office's ability to deal with public and overseeing the estates of those who have been deleted. Oh yeah, out there in the west, it's very hot. It was very hot out there for sure. I have a friend that lives over there in Arizona, and it's very hot over there too, and also in Las Vegas as well, of course. Yeah, it's been very hot everywhere pretty much, but yeah, it's very hot over there as well. In a rare move, consultant hired to resolve turmoil in county office May 26, 2022. Quote, in a raw move, top Clark County managers have hired a former coroner to tackle friction in the public administrator, end quote, office after multiple claims of bullying and favoritism. Michael Murphy was brought in to ease turmoil following a Review Journal story revealing hostile workplace complaints against public administrator Robert Tellis, co-workers accusing Tellis of carrying an inappropriate relationship with a staffer, including secretly videotaping Tellis in the back seat of a staffer's car. That's very hot. That's very hot, Matt. Wow. Tellis, who is running for re-election, has denied the allegations and blamed the upheaval on a handful of old-timers. Embattled County official losing re-election bid posts angry letter on June 18, 2022. The re-election of embattled Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis is in jeopardy after a lackluster showing in a primary battle with the Democratic challengers, including his top assistant. Tellis' lagging numbers follow a Review Journal investigation last month that uncovered an office in turmoil and claims of bullying, retaliation, and inappropriate relationship between Tellis and the staffer. Embattled County official for the race, quote, amid continued office reset, embattled Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis has concealed a close Democratic primary race to his top deputy. At the point I do believe I will lose this race, I am looking forward to going back to the practice of probate law where I can continue to help families, Tellis wrote in a statement for his campaign website. Amanda says Phoenix is hotter. I loved visiting Arizona though. We stayed at Camp Verde with my mom's friend up in the mountains. So it was cooler. Sedona was touristy. We went there. Well, that sounds really cool, Amanda. I'm glad you got to see that. That's awesome. Alright, so this is the person. You see, he's just standing out in broad daylight. He's just in broad daylight with this orange. His orange suit with his pants and his straw hat. It's hilarious. Yeah, so yeah, that doesn't just stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Right. And I'll be curious to see this. Yeah, so this is what she's talking about. Camp Verde, Arizona. Really beautiful, very nice. It looks really cool over there. You know, you got the beautiful streams, nice water. That's really cool. Danny is saying, Tellus is looking like a kung fu master. Absolutely. The way he, conducted himself like that. Yeah, so Amanda said Alien super gorgeous. Okay, Alien read my mind that guy thinks he wouldn't have gotten caught in the city dressed like that. Exactly. And Matt says that's how people that work outside and do landscaping for a city dress like. Alien super, yeah, exactly. But it's still to me he stands out like a sore thumb. Amanda says Alien super gorgeous. I would move there. Got to be careful. Lots of rattlesnakes there. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Be careful with the rattlesnakes. Thank you for the heads up. That's funny, Danny. As I said, that's him in his outfit. I love spicy sauce, by the way. Let's see. Okay, so basically I had some interruption, but I should be visible now. Okay, let's go over here. All right. Also, okay, thank you. It was frozen. Curry is favorite thing about the UK food. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everybody, for the feedback. And basically, yeah, French food is very good. And also, soon, I have. So basically, want to say that these are some chickens that are on an island in Hawaii. And basically One of my friends went on a vacation to Hawaii a long time ago, and she went over there to this place, and you had these chickens on the island. Yeah, so basically, yeah, making everybody hungry. Yeah. Okay. So basically, as I was saying, you have and what happened was a hurricane hit the island, and it caused all of the chickens to be freed from their coops, and they're wild chickens that just run around the island and just live around the island. That's what they do. And I'm thankful for everybody's patience in the situation. All right. So yeah, we have those, and people just feed them. Just kind of like cats over there. Very interesting. And they're kind of like cats, in that the what happened was a hurricane came and it caused that to happen. It caused all these chickens to become feral chickens. And it happened in the 80s and the 90s. She says, Matt, my favorite creeper in Chicago was so bomb. It was owner passed out and closed it. I have a good French food from here too. Well, that's really cool. Also, also where I am, they have some very good French food as well. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's these chickens, and they're in Hawaii on this island. Is very cool. Very enchanting thing to see. And yeah, this, as I said, a hurricane in the 80s and 90s came in, and it caused all these feral chickens to exist because they got knocked out their coops, and they just roam around the island along with other wildlife. It's a very interesting island. All right. All right. You see, like this is the waterfall they have there. Amanda says, Danny, you should try frog legs. They're very good. If you like chicken, you like frog legs. Oh yeah, yeah. I recommend that too. Yeah, the chickens are very happy over there. Absolutely. As long as your favorite British cuisine is French, you're okay in my book. Okay, Alien. Amanda says, Alien, you have some of the best food available in the country. Everything I had there was absolutely amazing. Well, Amanda, thank you for the shout out for the city. My favorite British cuisine is pizza and Chinese, lol. Matt, I couldn't have been visiting Chicago. It was just my friend's birthday. It would have been cool to have seen her daughters. Half Spaniard and half is enough spice for me. All right. Yeah, thank y'all for chatting and interacting. All right. So then we have this part of the island. It's very cool looking. It's a very beautiful island. Very beautiful island. Because remember, I was talking to my friend on one of the other streams, or it was 4th of July, and yeah, and Miss Catherine was saying how she saw the wild chickens on the island because she was talking about the chickens her neighbor has, and she had there's chickens on the island she saw, many years ago. And the hurricane was in the 80s and 90s that struck the island that caused the chickens to do that. So, and then she was saying when she was taking pictures, the film wasn't in the camera right, something like that, one of those older cameras, and she got a lot of pictures, but some pictures didn't come out. She realized it later. So I'm glad now you can just whip out your phone and just take a picture. It's really cool now. I remember when I was a kid, I remember Polaroids vaguely, but it was just for antique purposes. I remember they had those, you would buy them at the store, and you put film in it, and like these like cameras you buy from the drugstore. I remember those cameras. Oh yeah, Matt says North Africa is ex French colonies. Tunisia was very safe. Get fat by eating crepes every morning. I would love to see Africa. She said she's a chicken though, not sure about visiting there. All right, I'm all caught up with chat. Yeah, so you have these very nice, waterfalls over there, very very majestic. And you got these, a view of the beach. Very nice sunsets, very cool. So it's a very cool island, and I've been reading about it. Also in the past streams, also we were talking about it. Also the one on Friday night was talking about it. Okay, Matt said that they're fancy European pancakes. Okay, thank you. Yes, they are very heavenly looking. Absolutely, absolutely. And also, basically, what I remember was they have all kinds of wildlife, not just the ones that I'm talking about here, but they have all kinds of different things there. The water's very nice. Let's see if that one works. You got the very nice water. People are like canoeing, and you got this. All right, recently I did a video about the astronauts that are stuck in space, and basically now what's happening is they'll be stuck in space until February of next year, and that the Starliner is going to come back to Earth unmanned, and SpaceX is in this mission to help bring them back, and it's very unfortunate during this giant rabbit hole of information in times that has gone down. But they will be they're safe now and they're in good spirits. But they cannot risk bringing them back because the thrusters are not working, and so there are some leaks. So they don't know what could possibly happen, and they don't have a model of it or anything. So it's kind of like with the Titan, how it failed when it was in space. So that was basically what occurred in space. So, but they're going to be coming back in February, and the other ones, the Starliner is coming back unmanned. All right. So that's an update. Just giving you a little bit of an update about them. I made a video. I also made a video about this, by the way. I'll look this thing up Matt's talking about. Alright, this is what Matt's talking about. These dishes. And yeah, Matt, they do look like pancakes. Yeah, Matt, they absolutely. And also, I think that they look very good. They look very good, very tasty. I would look forward to trying them. Matt says, let's hope that the craft isn't made out of carbon fiber. Absolutely. Yeah, very good. I'd love to try that. Absolutely. And this is one of something something I like. I like talking about this. This is some gumbo. Very good. Yeah, this is some gumbo. It's very good. I recommend this. And also jambalaya is good. And on Thanksgiving, some of my neighbors, they won't make the regular Thanksgiving food. They'll make the gumbo. And that's what for the past quite a few years, I eat gumbo for Thanksgiving. Yes, Matt, I do agree with that. Yes, Matt, I do agree with that. No, they are using a PlayStation controller. Just joking. Just joking. Now they didn't get their advice from Stockton Rush. I do agree, Matt, and also they're very good. Yeah, so this is a dish I recommend, gumbo. I recommend that. And all right, so this is some jambalaya. It's very good. Yeah, that's also good. Thanks, Danny. I'm glad that you agree. Next. Let's look at the French frog legs. Yeah, this is the French frog legs. That looks very good too. Yeah, those look very good also. Those look very good. I like that. Yeah, those look good. I'll look up. I'll look up that. see Spanish sausage in Madrid last time I was there. Oh, that sounds very good. Oh yeah, facts, Amanda. Amanda, thank you for looking that up. I will certainly go try that. Thanks, Amanda. I will certainly try that. Thank you. No me gusta frog legs. Yeah. All right. All right. Also, yeah. Shout out to Amanda. Thank you for looking that up for me. Okay. Mm-mm. Yeah, that looks good. The spicy Spanish sausage looks good. I like that. hop it, hop to it on those frog legs. Yeah, so this is the spicy Spanish sausage. It looks very good, Matt. Very good, Matt. Also, let's see. Matt says, not sure what it is, but considering you are from there, I'm guessing you are the sausage expert. Yeah, right on. Yeah. Also, crawfish is very good. I like that. And yeah, he's the sausage expert. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that food, there's a lot of good food, where I am and all over the place. And I like, I like Japanese food. I think that's very good. I like, other Asian food too. We had some nice Japanese restaurants here as well. All right, and Danny, this is some crawfish that they have here. This is some other food that they'll eat. They'll boil crabs sometimes, or they'll boil crawfish, and with corn, it's very good. I'd recommend it. There's a lot of spices in it. Also, I remember this story one time for Thanksgiving where I was at my friend's house and they were defrosting the crabs that they caught from fishing. They caught the crabs from fishing, and one of them was running around the back porch, and my friend ran out the back door into the front door into the sidewalk because his mom was getting them together. But yeah, very good, and as to the crabs are very good in gumbo, but this is something else that I like to eat down here. I didn't know that, Danny. That's news to me. Genghis Khan Genghis Khan did that with the the those people, the Mongols with horse blood. Yeah, shout out to the spices and the peppers. I like this too. You see massive horse legs hanging up in their supermarkets. I did not know that, Danny. That's news to me, man. I didn't know that. Yeah, I like growing different spices and different foods and stuff like that. And this is some of the stuff that I like putting in food. Oh, I'm surprised you haven't tried it. They're very good. It's very good. Yeah, exactly, Matt. You got to do it next time you're in a pinch. Amanda says, "Super tasty, alien. I've had crawfish pasta in Georgia at this Cajun restaurant. They had alligator bites and soft shell crabs too. All great. Well, I'm glad that you got to try that. It's very good." Danny, they taste a little bit different. And also crawfish, by the way, is not necessarily a lobster, but it looks similar to it. But like, but yeah. So, oh no, lobster and crab taste very different, in my opinion. They're very close, I think. They do taste similar, but a little bit different. And Matt says crab cakes, egg Benedict is far my favorite breakfast. Oh, that's cool, Matt. Absolutely, that's really cool. Oh, I like that too, Matt. I like crab cakes and egg Benedict too. And also the interesting thing about peppers, it goes through different phases. Like that, you'll have peppers that will be green, and then they will be yellow and red. They go through different colors. Yeah, down here we call them crawfish, but they're also called mud bugs and crawdads. Some people call them crawdads too. Yeah. Also, at the YSL trial that I was talking about, you know, because like Young Thug and them are accused of racketeering, but they don't really. The state doesn't really seem to give hardcore evidence that that is really true. And basically, I think that he needs a fair trial, and they have a different judge now because the other judge was kind of sour, and now they're just deliberating evidence and things like that, and it's really a prolonged trial for sure. Amanda says, "Danny, even different crabs taste different though. Like king crab and blue crab taste completely different. Still, lobster is close though." I agree. There is a difference, but I do agree. Matt says, "In New Mexico, the red chili and green chili that they refer to is the same plant. It's just picked at different times of the year." Yeah, Matt basically summed up what I said before because I grow peppers, and it'll turn green, then it turns into different colors, and the final color is red. And because I see that my pepper plants, they'll be green, and then they'll turn eventually into red. Right. And Matt said it in layman's terms. Matt said, "Hey team, should I eat Chinese food or Southwestern food right now?" Hmm. I would think that I would say Chinese food, in my opinion, but the chat can give their own opinion about it. Now, since the topic we're talking about, we are kind of talking about Southwestern food in the southwestern part of the country. So maybe you would go with that if you wanted to, but I think that, because I was saying the Chinese, but we are talking about the Telus trial, and we are talking about peppers and things like that, so perhaps you might want to just go with Southwestern. Because we are talking about it. Yeah, because I would say Chinese food too. I would say Chinese food. But as I said, I'll tell you all updates about how the Telus trial goes as well. Ah, you're gonna make both. Awesome, man. All right. Okay. It's loading. Oh, Danny, I eat fish and chips sometimes. I'm gonna give you some context about the island. All right. It has an area of 562.3 square miles, making it the fourth largest of the island and the 21st largest. Kauai lies 73 miles northwest of Aoyu, according to Kauai Channel. The island's 2020 population was just 23,298. Yeah, shout out to tacos. I like tacos as well. Amanda says, "Matt, honestly, a taco bowl sounds good, though I haven't made those tacos in a while. Sounds great. Enjoy whatever you have." Amanda says, "Danny, she makes that all the time. Really simple and delicious." Yeah. Styling itself, the garden aisle, Kauai is a site of the Waimea Canyon State Park and Na Pali Coast State Park. It forms the bulk of Kauai County, which also includes the small nearby island Kaula. Nahua, I'm butchering that probably. Nah, and Lahua and Nihaua. Nihayu, rather. I said it wrong. Okay. Hawaiian narrative derives the name's origin from the legend of Hawaii and the Polynesian navigator credited with discovering the Hawaiian Islands. The story relates that he named the island after a favorite son. Possible translation of Kauai is place around the neck, describing how a father would carry his child. Another possible transition is food season. Kauai was known for its distinct dialect for the Hawaiian language, which still survives in Nahuyu, while the domination dialect is based on that Hawaii island which has no sound. The Kauai dialect had this sound. This happened because the Kauai dialect had retained the old Polynesian sound replaced in the standard Hawaii dialect. This difference applies to all words with these sounds. So the Kauaian name Kauai was pronounced Taiuai and Kappa pronounced Tapa. So this island, was interesting. Interesting history about the name of the island and the background of it. Polynesian inhabitants settled in the island about 600 to 800 CE, as indicated by the radiocarbon dating of archaeologist sites. They are believed to have come from the Marquesas Islands. A second wave arrived by sea canoe from Tahiti around 800 to 1000 CE. And I think it's really cool how a lot of these people sailing on those open oceans and going to these islands, that really was something incredible. Like what the Vikings did. Many Hawaiian traditions and belief structures derive from the culture that arrived with these Talihesians. In 1778, Captain James Hook arrived at Waimea Bay, the first European known to have reached Hawaiian Islands. He named the archipelago Sandwich Island after his patron, 6th Earl of Sandwich, George Montagu. Yeah, I don't recall exactly which island Obama's from, but he's from Hawaii. Right. During the region of King, might butcher this, Kami Ahaima and Nahiu joined the Kingdom of Hawaii. The last to do so, their ruler Kamuli resisted in Kamahaya for years. Twice prepared a huge armada of ships and canoes to take the islands by force, and twice failed, once because of a storm and once because of an epidemic. But the face of the threat of further invasion decided to join the kingdom without bloodshed and became Kamehameha's vassal in 1810. He succeeded the island in the Kingdom of Hawaii upon his death in 1824. Let's see. I'll look it up, Amanda. They're mainly in the Caribbean, the ones that I talk about specifically. Okay, I have to connect my mouse, this keyboard here to this. Okay. Okay, and the keyboard is being silly. Okay. Okay, Pirates, Hawaii. Okay, come on. Okay, we'll go. Unlike the Caribbean, there hasn't been a long history of pirate activity in Hawaii, but there is one incident that many believe was the largest scale pirate attack in the territories of the United States is truly unbelievable. So Hawaii did not have a lot of pirates there, Amanda, but there is one incident that many believe was the largest scale pirate attack in the United States, which happened in Hawaii. So the largest pirate attack in America in all the territories happened in Hawaii, but there wasn't a lot of pirate activity like the Caribbean. So that is your answer. And I'll read this for a little bit and then we'll end it. All right. The Schaefer Affair. The Schaefer Affair was the controversial diplomatic incident caused by Anton George Schaefer, a German physician who attempted to seize the Kingdom of Hawaii for the Russian Empire. After 2 years, his scheme failed and he returned to Germany. Plantations. From 1830s till the mid-20th century, sugarcane plantations were Kauai's most important industry. In 1835, the first sugarcane plantation was founded on the Kauai, and for the next century, the industry dominated Hawaii's economy. Kauai's last sugarcane plantation, the 118-year-old Gay Robinson plantation, stopped planting sugar in 2008. You're welcome, Amanda. You're welcome. In 1835, Old Kuala Town opened a sugar mill. From 1906 to 1934, held by John Ahia Kanekua. In 1835, the Kolia opened up a sugar mill. From 1906 to 1934, office county clerk was held by John, who had been active in attempts to restore Queen Lalukani to the throne after the U.S. takeover in Hawaii of 1893. And then there's Vladimir Knutson, was a Norwegian who arrived in Kauai in 1857. Knutson Kanyuka originally managed a grove farm in Kaloa. He after sought a warmer land and purchased the lesses of Mana Keka when he became a successful sugarcane plantation owner. He settled in Waiwa between Mana and Keka, immediately across the channel from Nahua, no, Nahu, rather, Island, and his son Eric Alfred Canudison was born in Waiawa. So it's interesting the explorers in the 1800s, and the different government and political issues in this island. It seems very fascinating to me. People going through these journeys on these ships and stuff like that. And this is about the hurricane that hit the island, that brought this hurricane I'm about to talk about, brought all those chickens to Hawaii. That brought them out their cages, out of their coops. Hurricane Iniki, strong piercing wind, was a hurricane that struck the island of Kauai on September 11, 1992. It was the most powerful hurricane to strike Hawaii in the record history, and the only hurricane to directly affect the state during the forming on September 5, 1992, during the strong 1990-1995 El Nino. Iniki was one of the 11 central tropical cyclones during that session. It attained tropical storm status on September 8 and intensified into a hurricane the next day after abruptly turning north. Iniki struck Kauai. A peak intensity, it had winds of 145 miles per hour and reached Category 4 status in Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Oh, about Chad Daybell. He's already been sentenced. Chad Daybell had a cult, and with his wife, and he believed that he was a prophet, and he had his new wife delete her 2 children, and he also deleted his ex-wife Tammy. And his trial has already been over with, and he was given the death penalty. So he's on death row. And you should look into that trial, and you should keep on looking at it. Another thing to look at is the Wade Wilson one. I recommend that one too. But yeah, Chad Daybell and his attorney, they were very cringe. Very cringe. Yeah, his second wife, his new wife, that did it. And also, they went to Hawaii, by the way, also. So yeah, Chad Daybell helped his new wife delete her kids, and also his ex-wife, Tammy. So what really happened was he really didn't like Tammy, and he came up with this thing to go and delete her, and he brainwashed his new wife to delete the children. And it was really in the raccoon cemetery, or the pet cemetery, rather, where they bury their pets. So, yeah, and Chad, we were all making jokes about him and ripping on him. And, we're making Bubba jokes about him. Yeah, Chad Daybell is sick, and I recommend watching that as news and stuff comes out about that one. And as I said, the jury found him guilty. Also, right now, Amanda, I'm watching the Tellis trial. That's the one that I've been watching, as you know. And Wade Wilson, they're going to do a brain scan on Wade Wilson. That's what they're going to do with Wade Wilson. Because they're arguing he was insane, so they're actually going to bring him to a hospital to have his brain scanned to see if he's crazy or not. So that is basically what they will do with that one. So yes, I would recommend looking into Chad Daybell. Oh yeah. And some of his kids are alive, and also one of the siblings of his new wife was alive too. And yeah, they're just a real brainwashed. And as I said, they're Mormons, but it doesn't mean all people that are Mormon are doing stuff like that, by the way. But yeah, that was the religion he was in, Mormonism. But the Mormon church excommunicated him, and that he is not part of the Mormon church. He just created his own religion. But that's what he was part of originally, but they condemned what he did, obviously. And rightfully so. And yeah. And then they'll have the Ashley retrial because there's allegedly some juror from that jury that was talking to somebody that was in our chat at the Law and Crime, and they were talking about the verdict and stuff like that. And like every time they're saying that every time this person said something, it like breaks and stuff, it happened. But then the people were caught, and some of the friends were in the snapshot, but none of us did anything. It was that person that was giving information that was in the wrong, and then we had to help one of our friends, understand that they weren't in trouble. So yeah, Ashley Daybell, no, not Ashley Daybell, but Ashley the ballerina trial is going to have a retrial too. So that'll be interesting. Yes, Amanda, you would have to say all of the people that are deleting people, all the murderers are just crazy. But, they're just regular people that are evil. Exactly. Exactly. But their defense attorneys are going to do what they're going to do because that's what they were hired to do. And also, I want to say that Matt says, if you hate hurricanes, don't see the new Twister movie. Oh, okay. I don't know. I might see it, but I will certainly keep that in mind, Matt. All right. So basically, I am going to be ending this soon. And I do want to say that I want to thank all of you for that the group that came. This was a surprise stream. And I will do Sundays. I will continue to do these on Sundays in the afternoon or the evening. And also, Amanda says, Matt, I actually want to see the movie. I just need to wait till I can watch it home because Ava's too little to go through movie theater. Yeah, that's true, Amanda. Yeah, and Matt, thank you for the suggestion. And it's very entertaining. But yeah, I want to thank you all for being here, and I cover the topics I need to do. And what I'm going to do is what I do now is I go see the cats in the back and help out the cats in the back, and then I'll come back and eat dinner. But I was able to fit in this time frame because usually I always talk about doing these earlier streams, and here it is. Here we are. And it'll turn you into a tornado chaser, Danny, before you know it. Right on. They just don't make fun movies anymore like that anymore. Yeah, I agree, Matt. Movies are not like how they used to be. A lot of movies, they have so much propaganda and stuff in them. They're not like how they used to be. But it's good to see movies, especially new movies that come out, that are not all woke and stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. They're not all like cringe. Amanda, I'm glad that Amanda, I'm glad that it made your day. And see you all on the next ones that come up. All right, so yeah, I want to thank everybody. Yeah, thank you all. I'm glad it made your day, Amanda. And also thank you, Danny and Matt. and all those that all the people that came here to come chill with me. I appreciate that, and we'll see you on the next one. On the next ones. All right. And I'll be doing the streams and the late night streams I usually do, and also these on Sundays. Okay. All right. Peace.